Wandering Will, a name rarely heard, his past is not written but carried by word. 5 steps to some, cold eyes to more, so many names, to remember's a chore. I'll tell you a tale, I assure it's no joke, of this frightening thing of which I have spoke. Our story begins with an ordinary chap. Sam is his name, not that you give a crap. It was that time of year with monsters about, dressed up and scary, for sweets they would shout. The morning of this, Sam has been said to have made up a dish of meat, wine and bread. This tradition, you see, is one scarcely told. No one knows where it's from, or just how old. The meal must be placed on the stoop of your door, which the wanderer takes, and you hope nothing more. With everything set, Sam was off to the grind. A long day then passed to tire body and mind. Sam arrived home and just missed the rain. His stomach did growl with hunger and pain. It had been such a rush that Sam did not eat, and all that was home was the wine, bread and meat. He was already late for a party in town, so without thought he scarfed it all down. What could happen? He asked, wiping his face. He then grabbed his coat and was out at a pace. He ran through the rain and got into his car. He'd need to fuel up, as he had to go far. Sam pulled away and out of his drive. The weather should pass and the party will thrive. Then as he drove down the wet lane, a strange figure he saw walk through the rain. A tall and thin robe, all shaded in black, a hood covered his face, but went down his back. Sam paid no mind, not making a sound. He didn't even see as that thing turned around. Soon he had stopped and picked up some fuel. Walking back to his car, he felt somewhat cruel. How quickly he dropped his childhood task, just to leave sooner to get drunk in a mask. Rain slowly dying, Sam turned his head. He then saw a figure which filled him with dread. That man from before, at least it might be that one. He'd only caught a glimpse before he had gone. Its face was concealed, save for a long narrow nose. Sam wanted to run, but instead he just froze. The long shabby robe that dragged on the ground, despite all the steps, it did not make a sound. Its motion was strange and was coming at pace. Sam's hair stood on end, his heart started to race. Regaining his mind, he made for the car. The man needed a drink, it was time for the bar. As Sam set off, he had to turn round, only to see where that figure was bound. It moved past the station, but then did not move. This calmed Sam's heart, and his nerves did soothe. He continued his drive with a laugh and a groan, but this was soon stopped by a call on his phone. The number unknown, but Sam wasn't shy. He'd take any call, just that kind of guy. "Hello," he asked, his voice filled with cheer, but the voice that replied would lead him to fear.
"You have my food, and I want it now. I won't stop till I eat. You made me a vow."
Sam's blood became cold, a chill ran him through. He knew who it was, but that couldn't be true. Who is this?" Sam asked, voice trapped in his throat.
"I'll be with you soon,"
responded a gloat. With one sudden crack, the phone had just died. Out of sheer panic, Sam pulled off to the side. Pucked up and afraid, his phone would not work. But then a bad thought sat him back in a jerk. He hadn't seen when he decided to park. He was alone in this place and surrounded by dark. He had to leave, just floor it and fly. But then in the dark, something caught his eye. Slowly and silent, it stepped into the light. That thing from before was a harrowing sight. It moved without sound, but an air that could kill. There could be no doubt, this was Wandering Will. Attempting to leave, the engine did fail. In anger and fear, Sam let out a wail. He could now see its face, disheveled and bleak. He could see its mouth move, but not hear it speak. Then suddenly shouts and calls of dismay. Sam could now hear this thing only 5 steps away. Its hand scratched the glass as it let out a roar, but the car came alive and Sam's foot hit the floor. As Sam drove away, the creature fell mute. He had to get home and so changed his route. He tried to remember the story of old, how to banish this being, or so he'd been told. There is only one way, his grandmother said, to hold off the cur and avoid being bled. Confuse the old thing and leave out a plate, leave also a glass so he thinks that he ate. Lock up the house and then go and hide, douse all the lights while he wanders outside. With some good luck you'll have nothing to fear, for he'll go away, at least till next year. Sam hurried home, his mind was now set. He'd do what he could to escape this old threat. Every moment was hell as he rode through the night. A chill made him feel it was always in sight. Old Will was real, a hard truth to swallow. Wherever Sam went, that creature would follow. At last he returned and ran through the door. His fears hit him hard, right to his core. He picked up the dish and emptied the glass. He ran to the door and lay both on the grass. Shutting the door, Sam ran for the lights. If Will got inside, he'd be dead to rights. Sam hit the switch and sought somewhere to hide. In a moment he froze. There were footsteps outside. A raspy old voice growled and spat hard. "I'll take what I'm owed." It was now in the yard. Sam had to know, so for the window he made. But when he got close, he was just too afraid. It snarled and groaned, just pacing the lawn. This night would not end, they were so far from dawn. The steps thumped aloud when it swayed to and fro. Sam froze in his place as it passed the window. He waited a time to ensure it had passed, and then crawled away, moving quiet and fast. He moved far from the door, but froze for a bit when silence did fall, and he could no longer hear it. He peeked round a wall, past the dark windowsill. There through the glass stood wandering Will. Sam pulled his head back and waited so long. He thought he'd been seen. Perhaps he was wrong. Hours passed on as Sam waited alone. He let out a yawn, a long, tired groan. It seemed it had worked, and that Sam had won. So for the next year, wandering Will would be gone. There he sat still, bunched up on the floor. He finally felt safe and could worry no more. But I'm sorry to say, Sam had not locked the door.